Good morning to you, wherever you are at this time. Welcome to another edition of Connecting the Dots on National Broadcast, the DBS Radio. August 16, 2025. And yes, we are ready. Ready for another session, ready for another vibes. Just ensuring that everything is, ready to go, to roll. Lovely weather in the air. It's not bad so far. Rough seas. But we welcome you again wherever you are this time. Welcome. Connecting the Dots, CTD. Approaching 5 years already. November 14 will turn 5. Okay, Dean, put me on. As I say, welcome again, family. Bonjour, good day, Kumaouye. We are so happy to make connection again with you once more. We look forward to a Saturday at this time. On radio and on social media platforms. On Facebook and YouTube. It's Connecting the Dots on DBS Radio. Okay. Yes, Dean, we're ready. Put Nigel on, put me on. Just let us go with the vibes, man. Right. Okay, people, family, sitting comfortably in the CTD house. Small up yourself, okay? There's enough room for everyone. I can see Vado with her arms crossed. La meya kwa but just on the looking around, but Snapper, you're not easy. I see you, Snapper. You have the crocker's bag of Kenny's right next to you as if it's yours. But just on, there's somebody calling me, man. Is this Winnie Green's voice that I hear, or is it Sandra Norris? Is it Sonia Williams? I'm hearing someone calling my name. I am here. Nigel is here as well. We Nula. Nigel, come quick before you get a detention. So long you there trying to clean a kennip seed. Come on, man, Nigel. Where are you? You there cleaning a kennip seed with your teeth. Come on. You know.
No, I
listen for somebody.
I come in.
Yeah, man. Stop bleaching the kennip. I just said the kennip for you and you want it all already, we Nigel. Nah, man.
That's what happens when you take too long to send it to me, you see?
Why? I'll send it earlier next time, man.
Yes. That's what happens when you take too long to send it over. How we doing? Well,
we should be doing fine, We should be doing fine. And let's see what happens today. Let's ensure that everything rolls well because we are ready. Right, Nigel?
We are ready, and everything should roll very well because of the guests that we have. We should have no issues today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when you have that kind of, when you have, the caliber of those guests and the school that they went to,
yes,
and what they did, then everything will roll smoothly today.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Papa. You have more to say now on the
No.
Okay.
I'm going to leave that for today.
Okay, I give you your chance to say what you have to say.
I have to represent you as well today. Mm-hmm. So today I'm not going to say too much.
I will try not to add anything.
I'm not going to say. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say anything today.
Me, Papa. Anyway, Nigel. Yes, we are
We
ready for
shall
the
survive.
program. Let's just
Right?
big up, yeah, by the way, the folks of Castle Bruce, because they're having their reunion.
Yes,
It's on.
yes,
Breaker
yes.
will be performing tonight. Yeah, should be performing tonight. So
And
that's
I
really
see
big.
Breaker in his
Oh
element
my
there,
goodness.
during the week there. So I
Yes,
can imagine
Nigel.
what's going to be happening tonight in Castle Bruce.
Yes.
So, my dear friend Lauren Bannis Roberts, good morning to you, and, Anthony Drago and all the other folks that's been working hard to make the Castle Bruce reunion what it's going to be. So far,
Yes.
seems to be pretty good.
Yeah.
And
So far,
tonight
so
is going to
good,
be the big
man.
one with Breaker and others. So please head down to Castle Bruce tonight to form part of that reunion. I know that we have the Lapland vacation just came through as
Oh yes,
well,
and
so
that too
that
was
was
good.
good.
Yes, yes,
And then who
yes.
else? It's been reunions. We
Yes, we
have
have
the
had quite a few
Wesley
already.
one, we have the
Yes,
St.
well,
Andrews
yes,
reunion.
yeah.
It's just reunions all over
Oh
the place.
yes, and you know the importance of these reunions. Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah, I've
That's
just
good.
always
That's
say
good.
it is a matter of identity, of community, of togetherness. That community vibe. And a push for the preservation of our cultural traditions as well. So there are a lot of
Yes.
benefits
Yes.
from an activity of
And
that
that's a
nature.
good thing about reunions, is the reconnection and the apart from seeing people you haven't seen for a long while, it allows you to get back to that space that you were at some
Definitely,
point,
that's it. That's
So
it.
that's nice. That's nice to have
Yes,
that. So
yes,
Cassie Bruce and
yes.
everybody else, all the best.
And all those planning their reunions as
And
well.
all those who are planning their
Yes,
reunions, of
yes.
course,
Because reunions also catalyze a social change, and fosters
It
that
does.
sense of community, that community spirit that we also need. So that's good.
Yes, yes.
Let's say
What
hi.
I love so far they've been doing is that, as part of the activities, they always ensure that there is something that they do for the community. Whether it's a cleanup, whether it's painting the school bus, the school stands, or whatever it is,
Create that
or having
lasting
some
impression.
donations, but something happens. So that's good.
And that's very, very, very good. Let's say hi as well, Nigel, to Dr. Emmanuel Finn and his lovely wife,
Yes.
Sari and Alana as well, Plays Us Academy, playing a major role, of course, in the educational landscape in Dominica. So let's say hello to them.
And that is important because that foundation is key, So
Yeah,
yes,
definitely.
definitely. Good morning to you, Dr. Emmanuel Finn and Chrissy. And
Oh,
all
yes.
the best. I know that September is just around the corner for the opening of
Please Us Academy.
Please Us Academy.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, which
What is
coming.
that? What is that?
Please Us Academy.
Place Us Academy. It's going to be, similar to what we have here. You have the Bright Start or the Kid Start sort of programs for the little ones.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Trust
obviously-
SMA old boys, or just trust SMA to ask questions early, in the program.
Well,
They stamp the authority already,
Well,
We heard the producer very early.
let me not say we.
Yes.
Yeah?
Mhm.
They are always ready.
Yes, they're always ready. But
Well,
Nigel, you see
Yes,
right
I have
now.
to play host
Nigel.
today I have to play host today as well.
Okay.
No,
Mind
Nigel,
me.
at some point you have to declare your affiliation. You know what I'm saying? You can't,
Excuse me.
that neutrality thing there, you can't today. Today it's too important,
Okay, Papa. Nigel, you see right now I talking plenty because when you see the guests come on, I'll be mute because the
I
discussion doesn't
understand.
sit well with my spirit, and it's four gentlemen from the SMA against only me from the Dominica Grammar School. So I'm staying in my lane today, Papa.
yes,
Mwah.
yes,
Yes.
Don't worry, man. Men inside are inside.
Yeah, but
You'll be
think
okay.
one thing is fundamental to the development of SME students is the graciousness of, they're very
Yes.
gracious. They're not,
The man come early in the program and start to the ball rolling with
Start
SMA
to give
already.
you early. Yes,
Man.
yes. Oh, by the way, Winnie Green says good
Uh-oh.
morning. Winnie Green says good morning to you,
All
too, right?
No more talk for me.
Yeah. Good morning, Winnie Green, as well. Nice to know you're on. Carl Kofi James says greetings. Hold strong, my DGS people. Oh, by the come of the program. Lauren Joseph, good morning as well. Kissa, she thought Ivona was from Cassie Bruce.
No,
Or she
I'm
was
not from Castle.
adopted. No,
Oh,
Lauren. Ivona not from Cassie, even Grand 4. Well, something like that.
Yeah, man. But Castle Bruce is a vibes to me as well. Castle Bruce is really a vibes, man. In fact, I have two sisters from Castle Bruce,
Rennick Thomas,
twins. So.
good morning. Rennick Thomas says, keep expressing the name SMA until sundown.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Yes,
Nigel.
good morning, Rennick Thomas. I think.
I need to arrange a discussion with at least 6 past students of Dominica Grammar School, or maybe 8 or
Boy,
10,
you're in
So
trouble.
Carlisle, come a while.
Yes, you have a problem this
Yes.
morning there. But
Kyla
don't
John
worry,
Baptist,
don't worry.
we have to
will
do
try
something.
represent.
Let me also
We
call
try
Naf
represent.
Isaac. Let me call Darwin Telemark. Where's
Yes,
Irma Raymond
call Val
Joseph,
Coffee.
Gloria Lionel Walsh, you know. Let's
Yes.
make something happen.
Yes. Plan your
Right?
reunion and something will happen.
Yes, we've
Here we go.
Oh gosh. All right. But Nigel,
but what's been going on for the week, man? How you been doing? Good?
yeah, pretty interesting
week?
week. Pretty interesting week. Just looking at, you know, Erin, what she's doing now. Nothing really, you know. But the seas are rough. So much so that
yes.
L'Express
Stark
Zeal
reminder
had
that
to.
the hurricane season is upon us, right?
So L'Express
Yes.
Zeal
Is this the
had to call.
the first major name
Yes,
one?
I think it's and it's unusual.
I don't think the others developed.
Yeah. It came on the 15th of what? 15th of August around that time. This week,
right?
you know,
Yes.
it's kind of unusual though. Normally it's a very, very, very. But anyway, let's not say that before things have to change.
Yes. But we certainly wish all the folks who might be in the path, you know, all the best and hope their preparations have been done. Don't wait too late.
I see Muriel Stewart on. The lovely Muriel Stewart. So Muriel, we need to do something, eh?
Well,
Okay.
yeah, well, Muriel
Stewart, we need to do something.
I mean, her cousin as well is on, Tuti,
Yeah.
so.
Okay. Oh, Tuti is a cousin.
She says,
anyway.
Yeah, she said, Muriel tell you, let's plan our reunion.
Of course, man. We should do that. Go on a cruise or something like that.
Yes.
Make it bigger than
Although
SMA,
Winnie
you know?
says that DGS don't have the same vavum that SMA has.
But Winnie, that's not. I give you up, eh? I give you up. But Nigel, it's time for the Dominica corner. My turn, man.
Your turn.
Name and answer correctly, okay? Please,
Yes,
just give the answer. Please don't beat around when you hear the question. Just answer. Name the largest co-ed secondary school on island. Just give me the answer. That's all. Just give me the answer.
St. Andrew's High School.
Wrong. Name the largest co-ed secondary school on island.
But of course,
Any
the
of the
Dominica
guests
Grammar
can
School.
answer. Let me put on the mic here of the guests in the studio there. Yes.
The Dominica Grammar School.
Okay,
DGS.
Dominica Grammar School. Okay, very good.
Yes, that goes without saying.
In what year was the
Second best school on the island? Was that?
Yes, boy. In what year was SMA founded? Let me see if they can answer that. Let me see if they can answer that.
You really want to ask
Any
me
one
that?
of you can answer. You can get help from your friends. Yeah,
I can
three
get
of them
to my
there with
friends,
you.
But I know SMA will be celebrating like 96 or 97 pretty soon. So, Alvin, what year was SMA founded again? 19 what?
April 4th, 1932.
1932. 1932. Here we go. Yes. 1932.
Name the SMA old boy who promotes connecting the dots with passion and enthusiasm.
Oh man, you know. Good morning to you, Miguel Murphy. We appreciate you. Yes, Miguel Murphy, you know, SMA old boy, we appreciate you for promoting Connecting the Dots. No matter what the program is, no matter who the guests are, you make sure you let everybody know what's going on. So, you know, thanks to that. Thanks to you for that.
Okay, what do I ask again? Yeah. Name the SMA old boy who is a former General Secretary of the Civil Service Association, CSA then. It was called
I wonder, let me see. Yes, good morning to you, Alvin Thomas. Of course, you know, co-producer as well of Connecting the Dots.
You haven't answered my question, you know. You said good morning to Alvin Thomas, but you haven't answered my question, Nigel. I'm still waiting for you to answer the question directly. That's why I think just answer the question.
Which one, Alvin Thomas? I answer you, Alvin Thomas.
Okay, because you just said good morning, Alvin Thomas. I was wondering. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Tourism consultant Sobers Esprit, an old boy of the SMA, is from what part of the island?
Well, I mean, this village that never sleeps. So, Maho, good morning to you.
Yes.
Yes. Did I answer you well?
Yes. You're okay. You're doing all right.
Okay.
No, but
one more. You have another question?
You want to ask a question?
Your turn.
But I ask how many questions, Nigel?
Okay, my turn now. Let me ask you a question now. My turn. Let me ask you a question. Name the SMA old boy who co-hosts Connecting the Dots.
Nigel Francis Esquire. I have it right? I'm correct?
Yes, you're correct. You're correct.
Okay.
You're correct.
All right.
You are correct. You're correct.
Okay,
But
so
let me say good morning to who else now. Carl Kofi James on the big up Alvin. Michael Joseph Chacha Davis, good morning to you. Sat on the same bench.
Michael Joseph, Michael Gates? Yes,
Yes,
no, Michael
Michael
Joseph.
Davis.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right. Anyway,
Michael Davis. We called him
Michael
Chacha back
Davis,
then.
Cha Cha.
Yes,
You know a song?
yes.
You can remember that song, Cha
Chacha
Cha
was one. Listen,
Manawa
man.
Kunono
Chacha was one of the first
Chibiti.
students who got involved in politics whilst he was at school. He went on the platform very
All
early.
right, well,
I
interesting.
wonder how brother Jimmy know about that.
But let's bring on the guest, Nigel. But seriously, I mean, we have been joking around on many programs, that banter with SMA and, Dominica Grammar School. But seriously, it is a pleasure to welcome past students of a school that has had and continues to have a tremendous impact on producing successful and ethical male citizens who contribute to every sector of society. But not just that, because to have a conversation with past students who are working tirelessly to ensure that they continue to document the successes of this co-ed institution through a reunion is a tremendous feat we should not take lightly. So I'm an old girl of the Dominica Grammar School, but I had a close connection in the SMA for many years, from a tender age, for more than a decade. So it's really a pleasure to have, past students of the St. Mary's Academy on Connecting the Dots. It's not the first time. I think we have given them a lot of time. We have always opened up our doors to them. So, Nigel, your turn now, and choose your words wisely.
Yes,
when you talk.
We will continue to open the doors to them because
Choose your words.
Yes. I think it's not just because it's SMA. I think it's also because, in a sense, it's giving back to community, giving back to education. And I know all three guests, they've done that and continue to do that. So although they're giving back to SMA and they're, creating this SMA reunion, but I'm pretty sure when we talk to them, we'll recognize that their focus, although it's SMA, but it extends beyond SMA. It extends all the way through all educational institutions and community and Dominica by extension. So it's nice to have them. We'll find out from them their story, their journey. One of the guests, we've been trying to get him on for a while. We catch him today. So we'll find out a little bit about their journey, their story, what it was like back in the SMA, and why this reunion now and what's going on and everything else. So good morning to all of you guys that's linked up and joining and connecting. I am not seeing the other. Is Sobas in studio, by the way?
Is there in living color? Oh yes,
Yeah.
Is there in living color? Okay, all right. So we'll see all the guests in a little while on our Facebook and YouTube pages. Right now, we're only seeing Ivona and myself, which is okay. She will make sure everybody's on very soon. But let me start off with Mr. Alvin Thomas. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining. Thanks for connecting. How are we doing?
Good morning, Nigel. Good morning to you, and good morning to Ivona. I'm doing pretty well. It's a nice Saturday morning, bright and sunny, I would say, down in Atlanta where I am. So it's a pleasure to be here this morning. And like you said, you catch me.
Yes.
So that's okay.
Yes. And
looking forward to the conversation.
We're looking forward to a wonderful conversation this morning. I know it's going to extend beyond SMA and the reunion that this particular group is planning, the 50th anniversary and stuff like that, So we'll go to Joseph Tuti Giz. Good morning to you, my brother. How are we doing as well? Thanks for connecting.
Thank you. No, I'm doing good. I'm in TX. Yeah, just the weather is good.
Weather is good.
Nice and sunny. Hot though. It's very hot.
Oh my gosh. The Tuti saying it hot. Amanda used to play football.
I know.
But we'll talk about that too. But yeah, it's hot. It's hot where I am as well. So yeah, definitely so. And of course, Ivona, are you going to tell Sobas good morning, or you want me to tell Sobas good morning?
Yes, go ahead. I'm trying something there. Go ahead, Nigel. Tell him good morning.
All right. So good morning to you, Mr. Sobas Esprit. Thanks for connecting. We'll find out about your journey. How are you doing?
Yeah, first of all, I feel great being back in studio. It brings me back to the years I used to spend between 9 and 10 o'clock every Saturday morning here at DBS doing motion. Nigel, remember that?
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh
Yeah,
yes.
every Saturday morning between 9 and 10. So at this time, we'd be in the studio bantering and doing our thing. So it feels great.
Doing our thing.
Yeah,
We sure would. We sure would.
it feels
Yes.
great to be
Yes.
back again, but in this time in a different capacity. Speaking about our beloved school, our beloved alma mater, St. Mary's Academy. For me,
Wonderful,
you know.
wonderful, wonderful. So yes, we're gonna connect, man. We're gonna find out the story, the journey, everything. Carl Kofi James wants to also big you up, Sobers,
Thank you.
and everybody else. So before we get into SMA, something we like to do on connecting the dots, and I'm sure if you've listened and you're part, we like to find a little bit and get the backstory before we get into the actual, the discussion itself, right? Because I wanna like a little bit like me. So let's go. Let's go. Mr. Alvin Thomas, what part of Dominica are you from, sir?
Well,
Ask him plenty
I'm a
questions, Nigel, because you see today there, we have him. So, we have him. He came on for a short while once, but now we have him.
We get you.
I'm a Roseau boy. Must say Kawat Roseau, as they say. Born and raised in Roseau. That's where it all began, and until during the latter part before I migrated, I lived at Castle Comfort. But all my years I've been in Roseau, so I'm pretty much a Roseau guy.
Pretty much a Roseau guy. So tell us a little bit about the Roseau guy back then. I mean, was it like you go through the river, you go up
Oh yeah.
on the Emsall side, and
Oh yeah.
a little bit
Oh
tubing
yeah.
down the river?
I
Yes, tell us,
I
tell
mean,
us.
it might take an entire program, but I always say that I had a very fulfilling life in Roseau. Did all the things that Tikawat Roseau fair. Going mango under power, rolling sec, shoveling folks, doing the whole 9 yards. Went to started off at a very, very, very young age. Teacher Rose, then went to mixed school. From mixed school, went to Roseau Boys School. From boys school, went to SMA.
You don't mention that yet. Don't use
Well,
SMA.
Nigel,
Don't put SMA. Don't call
Nigel,
SMA name.
the addiction is there to mention those letters,
Yes.
SMA. I mean, I know I gonna may might have a little problem with that, just a little, just a little. But yeah, but basically, I grew up in Roseau all my life, and was involved in a number of things, school, out of school. So basically, that's who I am and what I've done over the years.
But I mean, during your time, and Sobers, take note of the questions because they're coming to you as well, and Tuti. So during the time that you were growing up, like in Rose and everything else, I mean, what was the community like? Was it a situation where the elders were in charge, even if you had your parents? What was
Oh,
it?
absolutely. Absolutely, Nigel. I mean, you may not be as old as us yet, but definitely that's what it was. I mean, you could in any way disrespect your elders. As a matter of fact, if one of your elders corrected you for doing something out of the way and you go home and mention to your parents, you get another correction. That's basically how it is. They were never on your side. They were on the elder side. C'est question où t'es qu'à faire, qui fait yo teni pour,
Batukosa.
Atukosa. So, and of course, it was a complete different environment. Bear in mind, of course, we were growing up at a time with very little distractions. I mean, now there are a lot of distractions, in terms of that cell phone and all that stuff. And what that did also, it created a real community because folks played sports, folks played stuff, they went hiking, they knew all over the country. I remember on weekends as a young, I believe I just studied SMA. Kelvin Roll, a bunch of us, Rosalind Severay, she's listening, we'd go hiking. Every Sunday, we go to a different spot of Dominica. One to Apito, one this, one that, T2 Gorge. I mean, you name it. So we did all of that. And like I said, we did the other things that young kids do. For example, I mean, it rain, a heavy rain, a big rain come down in Roseau. We bathing in the street. We under the rain, We go under power. So there were so many things that we did. We walked a lot. Our diet was also different. I mean, we didn't have KFC in those times, so we had to eat what was provided. in addition to what we got at SMA, the Big Sun coconut cheese, you know. So it was yes, it was, as they say in that term, it took the village to raise a child. That's basically what it was.
I really think he was a troublesome child when he was during that time.
I suspect. You know, I see that, Nigel. For some reason, I see that. You know, I mean, he would have mellowed down after a while, but I just get the sense that Alvin was a troublesome guy.
Well, at some point in the conversation this morning, I'm sure we may spend a little time and talk about the 70s.
Right, of course.
We are the children of the 70s
yes.
what transpired in SMA. Some may interpret it as being troublesome or rubberizers, but we were of that period.
Yeah, so you
were the ones that brought that change that took place in SMA several years after.
Man, Nigel will have stories. We'll get stories. Yeah. Because as Alvin is saying this,
that might be a little part of it there.
There should be. Because as you're saying this, Nigel, as you're saying this, I'm also thinking, because there was also the rise of the dread phenomenon, you know, and a few years later, there was this tumultuous period in Dominica's history as well. So I'd like to find out sometime later on the program what was happening inside the classroom as a result of what was happening outside on the national front. But we'll leave that for a little later.
Yes, we'll definitely come to that, you know. Sobers. So you see the questions we asked Albert, because we like to connect the background.
Sobers, Nigel,
so
Sobers.
I originally said, of course, you're from Maho, but is that true?
What? I am from Maho, of course.
That's a question? Come on,
Nigel.
I mean,
that's a given, Nigel.
So tell us about Maho. I mean, at the earliest stages in Maho when you were in kindergarten.
But before I talk about Maho, I think we need to put this whole thing in historical context. Yeah. Because I like to give context.
Oh yes, that's you. So.
Oh yes.
Let's understand that we were born at a pivotal time in Dominica and the Caribbean history. All right, it was a time of great challenges for Dominica, for the region. We were trying to find ourselves as nations. Well, we were not even nations. Yeah, we were small dots on the map. We still are, but at that time, talking about 1960s, 1970s. We were really unknown entities in the global scheme of things. Dominica was faced with tremendous challenges, economic, social, and of course political challenges. And that is what helped define that period, yeah? So we need to understand the period of the late 60s and early 70s to understand where we came from as students of the 1970s and later on. So I think we need to establish that first of all. I don't want to know historical lesson, Nigel, but just to give it in context. Just to give it in context. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important. Yes.
So we grew up at a time when we're talking about poor infrastructure around the country. You know, whether it was water, electricity, road, transportation. That was the Dominica at that time. We were really hewers of wood and drawers of water. Most of our people really did the basic to survive. Most of our people, we know, the survival was around agriculture and rural life. So the greatest part of Dominica was really rural, for the most part, except Roseau and surroundings. But once you leave Roseau, that was it. You were country. Yeah. We were called country, even if I'm from Maho, 5 miles away. We were called country boys, you know. And if you come from Grand Bay or La Plaine, it's even worse. So that stigma about country book, you come to town to go to school and so on. But that was the time we lived in. So we need to understand that. So that's the context in which we lived in the 1970s, late 60s, 70s. So Maho, like most villages, particularly on the West Coast, had a particular kind of personality, a certain kind of weight looking at this community. First of all, we were a very transitory kind of community. Everybody had to pass from Maho to go to the north and vice versa. So that's one thing. That's what defined us. Most people lived on a narrow strip across the road, close to the sea, and right across the road. We didn't have buildings in Belfast and in Jimmy and those places. That's only more recent. So most of the people really stayed on the road. That's why people say, man, how people are always on the road. Because that was our domain. The road, that's where we stayed. We spent time. We played cricket. We played, well, not so much football, but cricket and other things on the road. We hung out there. We had, Carnival was big in Maho because of that. Because we had this thoroughfare that so people used to come from St. Joe, from Salisbury, Collyho, Portsmouth to Lime in Maho for jam sessions, for Carnival. Of course, we had one of the biggest bands ever, Bells Combo. Came from the 60s and early 70s. So that was Maho. But I think, like most communities, there are three things that really epitomize community life: church, home, and the wider community. And they were all intertwined. Church was Catholic church, for the most part, except maybe one or two people who were in Jehovah's Witness and a few others. But most of us, we were proud Catholics, and so those of us who had aspiration for bigger things, we joined the Catholic youth movement, the pre-YCW, and that's where we got our grounding. Home, and Alvin made the point, it was a village that raised the child, that raised the kids. We had to adhere to the norms and the values of the wider community. You had to behave in a particular way, or otherwise you get smacked. And of course, and the community was cricket. The community was, we talk about bathing in the river, we talk about bathing in the sea. Everybody, like all the kids would be in the sea now, summertime, would all be bathing in the sea, swimming in the sea. So community life was cricket, was bathing, was sports. Cricket was a big thing. Cricket really brought the community together. Every child played cricket in the community. Every boy in particular played cricket. You had to play something. You had to do, whether you try to bowl leg spin, off spin, or be like Tutti or whatever, you had to play cricket to survive in that community. You had to learn to swim both in the river and in the sea. So community life was very important, because that's what helped to sustain life and to sustain living at that time. And of course, education was seen as paramount, and those who could support their kids' aspiration for higher education did so in many ways. They made huge sacrifices to send their children to high school and so on. But we had limited access to higher education. Let's understand that. Only a handful of Dominican kids could go to high school, because we only had a few spaces for the hundreds of the kids from the masses who could go to high school. We're talking about St. Mary's Academy, Convent High School, the Wesley High School. These were the schools. These were the high schools. So limited spaces. You
mentioned the Dominica Grammar School?
Yeah, I said grammar school.
Sobers.
Okay.
You made a fundamental error there, boy, Sobers.
St. Mary's Academy. St. Mary's Academy.
You said Wesley High School and Wesley High School. You did not say the Dominica Grammar School. I know it's an error on your part.
Okay, well,
but I just had to
obviously Dominica Grammar School. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Only secondary school on the island, so we can't miss the grammar school. And even then, grammar school was only boys for boys, for the most part. Co-educational start
came later,
it came later, late 70s and so on. So only a limited number of kids could go to high school, folks. In my time, only about maybe 3-4 of us went to high school that year. So that was the period in which we lived. So we grew up at a time when of great challenges. No pipe-borne water in our homes, no plumbing. So you had to do everything outside of the house. You had to wake up early in the morning to go to the river to have a shower, to have a bath, and then to hustle to get to school, to high school, if you're lucky enough. So I think we need to understand the context, and so when we come to talking about how we ended up at St. Mary's Academy, we need to understand that it was for us in many ways a privilege. That
journey was,
it was a privilege in many ways for those of us who went to high school from the 50s, 60s, 70s. Of course, times change, things evolve, more spaces were created. Grammar school had the co-ed system and so on. We had other schools coming on the scene, but it was a difficult time. So.
Interesting.
It was.
I just thought it was important for me
and I mean,
I like this.
That. Yeah, we'll definitely explore that as well in terms of, how that contributed to, you guys being at SMA and bringing that same energy into SMA and everything else.
And whether
Mr. Joseph Tudigis.
yeah, and also whether
Sorry, go ahead.
how it impacted our life at school as well, success or failure, if you want to
Yeah,
measure it
yeah,
in those
because of-
ways,
yeah.
because that had big impact on
yes.
kids. A lot of kids went to high school and they didn't make it beyond second form. Folks, some of them, many kids drop out in first
Drop out,
form.
okay.
You know, so we can talk about that as well.
Oh yes. Joseph Tudigis, man. You representing the which community?
Yeah, Harlem. Never forget.
Never
Well, that's
forget
where I
Harlem
grew up.
Wilson area.
Yeah, that's where I grew up, Newtown. It was a really interesting time for us too, growing up around that time. And as Sober said, kind of privileged to go to SMA. Very few people did. But I think what it did was it really gave us a sense of responsibility, right? The older guys in the community, they really, there was that consciousness because, there were some guys who were at UE and, other universities, and that was around the time of Black consciousness. So I think that was injected into our community, the idea of doing stuff that benefits the community. So going to SMA, you kind of naturally kind of emerged as a leader in your community. So I was very involved in community activities, and the guys who were the older guys were kind of the guides, but then they would kind of let the younger guys go do the work, and then would have to come back and report to them. We did a lot of things in the community growing up. I mean, I played soccer, but that's just the tip of the iceberg, right? That was just something that we absolutely enjoyed and we were well known for. But is I think what stuck with me is the community activity that we did. We had literacy programs, we had food programs, we did a lot of festivals to raise funds. I think you can maybe, I don't know if that's before your time, right, Nigel?
Yeah.
The Harlem festivals and all that stuff and all the activities that we did, It was fun. But I think what it did was taught you leadership skills, right? Even now, the environment that I work in is Native American casinos I work with, right? The idea of, is very satisfying because, whatever results that we bring to them is for a community. It's not just for a shareholder who has no interest in anything except the finances, right? It's for the community where they can build schools, they can build roads in their community and generally develop the community. So I think that preparation, was good for me, And I always say that I don't know in the corporate environment here if I would have the same growth and development that I had working in the Native American community, because, there's more sensitivity to minorities, of course, because they are one, there's more of an embrace. So yeah. But I think the structure that I developed growing up, and just like, all the other kids, we would go get mangoes growing up, go under power like Alvin was talking about, and just being outside when it rains again, playing soccer. But that was our thing, right? Because soccer was big in the community. Not so much. Sobers had cricket, we had soccer. There were few people who played cricket, and I played cricket too. But soccer, man, football was the thing, in that environment. So, but growing up was good. Growing up was extremely good. We had good leaders, in the environment, and they held us to high standards because we'd have to go and do. We would sit down, and even before I would sit down in the morning with the guys, they would give me my assignments. I would have to go all day and try to do everything I could, and come back in the evening, and then I would have to report on what's done, and but just the growth and the sense of community that I developed there, I think that has served me well, in my life.
Yes. What about the Boetica connection? Somebody said.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, I
connection,
can't believe I left that out. Well, my dad was from Boetica, and I used to go up there in the summertime, a lot in the summertime. So I would go up and hang with my dad, and my dad was very much into agriculture, but for some reason, he wasn't so big on me being part of it. I was of an age where I could help with things with the cutlass, and But he never was so big on me being, just want me to sit and talk to me. I think he was big on just talking to me about things, but not getting me so involved. I mean, he was so scared I would cut my, what was he thinking? You know what I mean? And, but